from Clare Acoustic Karaoke. I'm going to be making some scones. I'm not sure this is working okay or not, so here we go. Anyway, I'm following a recipe from BBC Good Food, so we're going to need 350 grams of self-raising flour, which I should have enough of here. So I'm just going to, got a hole in my bag. See? Got a hole in my bag there, and look, so I put it in there to stop it leaking. And I totally forgot and I just lifted it up. Right. Okay, so put the scales on. 350 grams. It's not very much. It's probably about half of what's here. Gonna measure that out. Oh, I forgot. I needed to put that on first. The bowl on first, so here we go. Errol's laughing at me because I'm messing this up. So I put the bowl on the scales. Can you see that on the camera there? Yeah, you can. So the bowl on the scales, and then put the scales on, reading 0 grams. So I want 350 grams. I've got 160 there. She's laughing at me. She's laughing at me.
You're not going to have me a flour, are you?
Eh?
Are you going to have enough?
Yeah, I've got enough. 350 grams of self-raising flour, folks, I'm using for this. Oh, I've just gone a little bit over there. Just going to wash my hands. Yeah, so scones, or scones as we call them in the UK, a very popular treat that people have in cafes, and you can buy them in the shop, you can buy them at bakers. They're very easy to make, and you can have savoury scones, you can have cheese in them, or you can have fruit in them, which is what we're going to be using today. You know what, there's just a little bit over there, that's fine. I don't want to get too picky about it, but yeah, that'll do. Okay, we're going to put the oven on in the meantime to about 180. Get that warmed up. So we've measured the flour out. We also need 85 grams of butter. And it's saying 3 tablespoons of caster sugar. I haven't got any caster sugar, I've just got normal sugar, but that should be fine. So I'm going to measure the butter out now. And put the bowl on the scales. Then switch the scales on. Okay, so we need 85 grams of butter. It says cut into cubes. Just do it like this. I think if we go a little bit over on the butter, I don't think that really matters, does it? Got 95 grams there, so there we go. Okay. The next stage is we're also going to need some milk, a little bit of milk. Tip the flour into a large bowl with the salt and baking powder, then mix. Okay, do a little bit of salt. I think I've got some baking powder in here. Just have a little rummage. Oh, there's my fruit. Baking powder. I think this just helps it rise a little bit. Self-raising flour does that as well, so even if you haven't got any baking powder, you're good to go, I think. It's all kind of... Oh, this is funny stuff. I'll just get a little teaspoon, bit of teaspoon out. And I'll crush that up before I put it in. Goes to just make it a bit finer. Sprinkle that in. Okay, so mix that, and then we're going to mix the butter in with the flour, rub it in, it says, until the mix looks like fine crumbs, and stir in the sugar. So we're going to put, it's saying the recipe here is 3 tablespoons of caster sugars. These are quite small spoons, so I'm just going to put 4 of these in of sugar. So I'll get that ready. So this is a little bit messy. So you put your butter into the flour and then you rub it together until the mix looks like fine crumbs. Okay. This is quite cool. I've not done any baking for a while. I thought it'd be nice to do a bit of baking again. Start with the basics, you know, like scones, probably some of the easiest things you can make. And they're delicious, you know. You can have them with jam, you can have them with butter, some people like them with cream, and a cup of tea, of course. Perfect. So I'm just starting to mix it in now, feel it, and the butter mixing in there with the flour. And I did put a little bit more butter in, and I'm wondering if maybe you could put a little bit more butter in than this as well. I'm not sure. I'm going to experiment with different amounts and things over time. It also says more butter the better, so maybe we could put some more butter in here. I'm thinking a little bit more butter, so I'm just going to put that now. When I say a little bit, I mean that. The great thing about cooking, right, or baking, is that you can just wing it as you go. I like to follow recipes for certain things, like certainly for baking, because I'm not very good at baking yet. And recipes are a good way of getting your amounts right. But I know some people, they just do it by look and feel, and that's good as well, you know. So yeah, I'm mixing this extra butter in, and it's already making a difference. I can feel that, and be messy, right? I think we're just about getting there. So I'm just mixing it all in, rubbing it in with my fingers to get that nice consistency, so it's nice fine crumbs that you want in. It started raining again. It's been pretty miserable weather here in Scotland. Terrible day yesterday, it was just chucking it down all day. I managed to get the grass cut the day before, so that was good. So here we go, we're just getting there with this. Getting it in nice. I think that's pretty much mixed in. A couple of lumps there, just get those out. Okay, I'm going to show you what this looks like, so you can get a rough idea of, you see, it's like a crummy mixture that you've made there. So I'm just going to wash my hands now. So I need to put the sugar in next. It said stir in the sugar. This is going to be put in three of sugar. Just give that a little stir in. Right, let's see what it says next on the recipe. Put the milk into a jug and heat in the microwave for about 30 seconds. I don't have a microwave, but what I do have, which is really cool, I'm going to show you now, because if you haven't got one of these and you like milky drinks, then I really recommend that you get yourself one. They're absolutely brilliant. It's a little milk warmer, and you put it on here like that, and it heats the milk up just a little bit for you without burning it. So you can make lattes and hot chocolate, things like that. So it only wants, I think it was 175 ml of milk, which isn't very much. Just measure that using my measuring jug. Just double check I've got the right amount. Yeah, 175 ml. There we go. And we're just going to put this, heat this up on with a milk warmer just a little bit. That does have a lid. There it is. And you can select cappuccino, latte, or just warm milk. We'll put it on the warm milk setting. Here we go. Add the vanilla and lemon juice. I'm not doing that. I'm not putting vanilla extract in. You could if you want, then set aside for a moment. Put a baking sheet in the oven. I don't have a baking sheet, so I'm just going to grease the oven tray. We'll measure out the sultanas. It says 100 grams. I'll put extra in. Yeah, I think Daryl's just shouting, put more in. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put we'll just weigh, see how much we've got here at the moment. We've got 400 grams there. So I'm going to put, and it's small amount, it's already gone out of the bag. So I'm going to put probably about half of that in, maybe a bit less, but a decent amount. And in the meantime, I'm going to get a baking tray to bake the scones on. My amazing cupboard. Baking tray. And we're going to put some butter on that. We need something to do that with. Hang on. You could just use your fingers if you know. Not a bad thing to do, but I don't like to do that. I like to use a bit of kitchen roll or a bit of paper or something. Baking paper. We got any baking paper. Okay. So I don't know why it's saying that orientation is locked for a rotate device, but I think this is working anyway. So who knows? Anyway. We will know soon. So butter, baking tray, give it a good. There we go. I think I might need a bit more. Another baking tray. So that's the milk warmed up. It just turns itself automatically when it's done it, which is great. So I have another baking tray there. Just going to grease that. So when you grease your trays, it just stops things sticking to the bottom of them. Okay, so next it says, right, got the oven heated. Oh, it says 200 or 220. I'll put that up a little bit. Tip the flour into a large bowl. Blah, blah, blah. Put the milk into a jug. Heating. Yeah, I've done that. So next it says make a well in the dry mix. So for this, I'm just going to I'm going to make some space because I know what's coming next. I know what's happening. So next we're going to be getting the scone mix on here to cut out into scone shapes. I'm going to put a little bit of flour on that, and that will just stop the mix sticking to the board. Okay. Right. So this is a messy bit. You might need a wooden spoon to help kind of mix it together. Make a well in the dry mix. So this is the dry mix. So I'm going to make a well, which is like a little hole. Then add the liquid and sultanas and combine it quickly with a cutlery knife. Okay. It will seem pretty wet at first. Scatter some flour onto the work surface and tip the dough out. Dredge the dough with your hands with a little more flour, then fold the dough over 2-3 times and it's a little smoother. Pat it around, blah blah blah, 4 centimetres deep.
Mix it in with a knife.
I'm going to need a cutter as well. So, anyway. You what, Errol?
Mix it in with a knife. Get your bloody hands in it.
Do you mix it with your hands?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Or a wooden spoon.
Okay. Quite a lot of liquid there.
Use a bit of flour to get it off your hands.
Yeah. I'm wondering if I've maybe got too much milk there. I'll put some powders in as well. That's a good amount. It's saying cutlery knife, so I'm just going to go cutlery knife for now. There we go. You see it starting to take shape a bit. Ooh, it's very wet, yes. I see what they mean. So we don't want to mix it too heavy, you know. We're not making a cake here. It doesn't need to be light and fluffy. It's quite heavy and stodgy. Tip you down onto the board for a bit so you can see a bit more what I'm doing here. Okay. Maybe needs a little bit of flour on that. I want to make it sort of flatten it out, so it's about, it says 4 centimetres thick. We'll see what we want to do. I've got that dough ball, so 4 centimetres thick is quite thick. Like that. Let's go for some big fat scones, eh? So this should rise in the oven as well. Now we need a cutter, and I didn't plan and get my cutter ready. And I don't even know where it is. So I might have to use something different, like a glass for now. Damn, I haven't got my cookie cutter. Oh, no cookie cutter, man. That's okay, because I could just use a glass instead. That'll do. And a little tip, apparently, when you're cutting the dough, I've been recommended not to twist it, because apparently that means your scones won't rise if you twist it. So I'm just going to cut it like this, without twisting it. hoping if I get that there, then I can get another one there. These are going to be pretty big scones. These are going to be lovely. Right, I'm going to get the baking tray so you can see me putting them on the tray. Now it's favourable to put some milk or some egg on top of your scone to give it a nice little colour. I'm going to spread these out because they're going to get really, they're going to spread out when they're baking. And I think we might be able to make another one with what's left over in the mix here, which will be good. Make a big special one here. This is going to be a bonanza scone, this one. Look at that. Okay, should be alright. On there. Yeah, so what we're going to do to glaze them so that they have a nice kind of colour to them when they're baking is we're going to get an egg and we're going to whisk it, and then we're going to paint some of that onto the scones. Okay. Bowl. Get an egg. We should have an egg like that. Oh no, we don't. Ah, damn. We've no eggs. Not to worry. Not to worry. We can use milk instead. That's fine. It's not as good, but it'll do. But to be fair, there is quite a lot of milk in these scones. There's some milk left. I'll just use that. I have a really cool little toy for this. This is awesome. Just give it a little rinse. So your milk or your egg, whisk the egg, paint that on top. And these are going to go into the oven for about 20 minutes. I think it is on here. Oh, it says 10 minutes. Okay. I'll check them after 10 minutes, but they might need a little bit longer than that. We'll see. This massive one here, this is fun. Okay. Milk on top. Egg gives a nice colour, and it sort of goes golden with egg. And we're going to bake in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes, but we're going to check. And I'll be back shortly to show you the results. Oh. See what they look like in 10 or 15 minutes time. Hello folks. The scones should be ready now, so I'm just going to have a look, see how they're doing. They've been baking for about 15 minutes. Looking pretty good, I think. Just test them with a knife, just see how they're doing inside. Yeah, I think they're ready. Don't want to overcook them because then they can get a bit hard and a bit dry. Just going to turn the oven off. Get the fish slice and put them onto the cooling rack. These are those, they look pretty good. You're going to have to wait a few minutes for them to cool down. Maybe 5-10 minutes. And you can serve them with a little bit of butter or maybe some jam. I've got some nice strawberry jam in the fridge. I'm just going to dig that out now and show you it. Yeah, okay. course, the great thing about doing your own baking is you get to decide what size you want with everything that you make. So if you want big scones, you can make them big. You can make them smaller if you want. And that's the beauty of it all. So I'm just going to show this jam that I've got, which is really nice. It's, you can get it from the supermarket here in Scotland. It's called Bon Maman Strawberry Conserve. I think it might be French. It's really nice. So I'm going to be having that with some of these. I'll be back in a moment to show you.